And welcome back to Blood, Sweat and Coaching. You might be able to tell this isn't Nick.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that.
He hasn't just changed magically, but I'll tell you that in a few seconds. So this is episode 2, and we did mention bringing in special guests, and today I brought in a very special guest, someone that I've been working with for a very long time, and is basically, I see more than my girlfriend, if I'm completely honest. I see him on a Monday, a Tuesday, a Friday, sometimes a Wednesday, and a Saturday. I see him more times, I can tell you. So we'll get into it in a minute, but he's a fantastic guest to have because he's been doing this on live. So a little few things first. A massive thank you to the over 100 views on our first ever podcast. That is crazy. Like, to get 100 views, me and Nick, like, sorry Nick isn't here today, I kind of made a mistake on some of this stuff and it went all wrong. So he's doing me a favour. Nick is unfortunately not here, but he'll be here next week and with the guests in future. So do not miss him too much. You'll start me today, but I will do my best Nick impression with there's no alcohol, there's just Diet Coke today. But 2-drink Nick will be coming back, I promise you. So 100 views means a lot to us. We have 13 subscribers, which you guys might sound like nothing, you might laugh at, but for us to be starting as a podcast with 0, we would have been happy with 10 views and no subscribers. So to have 100 views is massive for us. So there's a massive thank you from me and Nick, and a massive appreciation for that. So the next bit is basically going to be the introducing the guest. So we'll see how he does on camera. I'm sure he'll do fantastically well. But would you like to introduce yourself, mate?
Yeah, so I am Dan Phillips. I, at the moment, managing director of First Goal Limited. We do First Goal football, First Goal fitness, quite a lot of things to do with First Goal. And yeah, so that's at the moment gone self-employed with Dev here. Which is a big jump, and we're really excited about that as well. I currently also coach for QPR. Which is another side thing I'd like to do, is more towards the professional part of the game as well. So, yeah.
Decent. So, as I said, we're in a guy who we've been doing First Goal football for 5 years. Like, we'll plug it really hard this session, but it is one of them things where I thought I'd bring him in really short notice. What a ledge, coming in doing this quick job for me, and basically all we're gonna do is just talk to him about what he does, what he's been doing, how we get into coaching, a little bit of his playing career, because he's a bit of a baller, if I'm honest. He's smashed his leg recently, but that looked gory as. But yeah, so we'll do a little bit about him, a little bit about what he does, and then we're gonna go through it a little bit more and have a little bit of fun with him and see how he reacts. So the first bit is, how do you play football? Are you a footballer? Where have you come from? Where have you gone? Did you start young? Did you start old?
Oh, you know what? I actually started late. In normally people.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I started late in football. It took me like year 5 or 6 to actually start, and that's
crazy.
Primary school.
I never knew that. I've known 5 years. I never knew that.
Started very late. So now I'm seeing kids starting at 4. I'm like, wow, good time to start, because I started at 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, preach.
It's started very late, but what got me into it is I randomly just started playing as a centre back for my school team, primary school.
Jesus, he's the most uncentre back I've ever seen in my life.
Now, if you met my PE teacher, like, he'll vouch for me. All I used to do is take out people. So
that explains a few tackles. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I used to react quite well at the back, and that kind of started me properly as one of those defensive midfielders, because that's what I'm really known for at the moment.
Didn't know that either.
Defensive midfielder, yeah. So 11 aside, at the moment I play defensive midfield. I love all around midfield now. But
Kante.
Yeah.
Kante.
I love that position. But yeah, that's how I got started. It was very good. Yeah.
Are you still playing now? Like, are you still playing a bit now? Do you play Saturdays, Sundays?
Yeah, so I play Sundays at the moment. Hard to get back into Saturdays with work, but Sundays is definite. I play Sunday mornings with a team called Alpha. Big up Alpha. Yeah, very good bunch of lads. We won titles, league title the season before last.
Champs.
So yeah, we're a good team and we're looking to go for it again. But it's a good league. It's a very good league. I know if anyone's watching this, in that league, there's a few people around the Enfield area. So yeah, we're set for a good season.
Jeez. So any people think they know this guy or have seen him on the pitch, give us an email, BSCpodcasts@gmail.com, and give him a bit of stick. See how good he is. Let me know. So let's go into, so that's your playing career, and of course I've known you've been playing, and I don't even go against you on pitch. You've scored against me. I played against a few competitive matches, and he's buried me a few times. I'm a goalkeeper. But moving on from that, so I know this question. I'm getting a bit direct a little bit, but before coaching as a full time, you've been in a bank, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
And how was that like? Because I know you were banking and coaching, and I know a lot of coaches out there, you won't ever get the full time coaching unless you either go at a club, like a big club, and have a wage, or you work for a company who gives you lots of little coaching jobs. So, how did you find the work side and the coaches side?
I found it very difficult. I think when you're getting into a job like banking or, as they say, a normal 9 to 5, it is generally, most of the time, you're looking to pay the bills.
Preach.
So it's a cross between going, studying, getting a full-time job in a reputable company to following your passion. And that's probably the hardest thing I've had to do.
That's relatable to a lot of people.
It's very
relatable.
It's extremely hard knowing that you're passionate, you're doing your passion at the same time as you doing something to pay the bills, and you need to try and work both of them together, and it's really difficult because your mind's set on just the passion.
You can't have it's so hard if you have a bad day at work and you come to coaching. You don't want to bring it to coaching because coaching is like your passion and where your love is. And then having we had a few conversations where a boss somewhere would get on your back or would send you an angry email or would do something, and you'd be like, oh, I don't, your love isn't in this. Yeah. Your passion isn't in this. In coaching, if someone said you take it seriously and a lot more, you'd try and be like, okay, I need to change something. But when it's not your focus and it's just to paying the bills, you'd be like, oh.
Exactly. That's the key thing right there, and it's just the focus part. And then all of a sudden you start feeling down at work. Yeah. So at work your performance may drop. You start having arguments out of nowhere, and it's just the fact is
real insights here. Yeah, real insights. So all these people with jobs that coach as well. This is exactly why we get guests in, because it's exactly that side of it that we want to hear. It sounds horrible, but it is the real side. Yeah. The real side.
Yeah. And it's the fact that you want to follow that passion, and that is all you're thinking about. And when you're just thinking about that, you're just thinking about wanting to jump and do that full time. Yeah. Everything just falls behind, and that's the biggest problem. So for me, good question, mixing work and the coaching side. If you have a passion that you want to do, I would say, especially if you're young, just follow that dream as much as you can.
Grind it.
Yeah, so you only live once.
Yeah, I like that. That's very true. And I think for all the coaches out there who are young, young coaches who are 18, for me 18, 19 is still quite a young coach for me anyway, maybe 17 is the youngest. But just, if you have a dream to be a coach and you love football and you're only went to football, if your playing career you know is not going to make it and you just play casually Saturday, Sundays, whatever, but you want to coach, 100% just stick with it and gain experience. And me and Nick were saying sometimes you have to volunteer. Isn't ideal because money's money, but sometimes you have to volunteer to get that coaching experience to then go on. And then there might be a job role out there and you've got to go get it and throw yourself into it. And you might do a 9 to 5, finish at 6, get home 6:30, then go and coach from 7 to 9, and then you're home by 10. And it's just that is sometimes.
That's right.
Because when we first started the first goal, that was us.
That was it.
We gave away, for the last 5 years, we haven't had a Friday evening.
It's true.
It's mad.
It's true.
We haven't had a Friday evening, and then in the second year we have a Saturday morning, and then Monday evenings, Tuesday evenings. And after 5 years of it, we finally got to that stage where we can both look at each other and go, let's make the jump. And we've made the jump. And this is our first year. Once again, this time of the year, we might be sitting here with no clothes on, skinny as anything and dead, because we can't afford it. But we chased it. And we've chased it. And I think that's the key thing for us. And I'm super proud of ourselves for it. And it makes me so happy knowing that we've given it a shot. And it could go, it could not. But that's it at the end of the day, innit?
There is no passion to be found playing small.
So that's your that side of it. So how did you go from going into banking and university and things like that? How, obviously, like, you're passionate about football, I clearly know this, but how did you fall into coaching?
Oh, this is a good one. So it was started back. So I had a mate who had his brother that went to what we're doing, like a bit like what we're doing, a coaching club, and it was in the summer holidays. And I thought to myself, you know what, I play football. I wonder what it's like to actually try and put my skills to somebody else. So I thought, let me try out, let me see, obviously get a summer job as well, and start coaching. And this was from the age of 17.
Nice.
17 I started.
Like sixth form, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think sixth form-ish. Yeah.
So I started from then, and I kind of stuck with it. I learned from a couple other coaches and stuck with it, but I was only an assistant. And it only became apparent to me how much talent you need for this job when I actually had to take a session. And that was the most difficult part ever.
That first session.
The first session I had to take was very difficult. But as I said, I started going to this holiday camp and just building myself, trying to build my confidence, trying to build my session knowledge, learning from coaches, and that was how I started, really. Yeah.
And from there, where was your, so after your holiday camp, did you go and find another camp? Did you go and find a job somewhere and then fell in, because we fell in both into working at Highlands, which is where we're based, in the school there. So how did you get to like there? Because the first goal bit, I've talked about a bit, and we kind of know the 5 years of grinding.
Yeah.
But how did you get to that with, like, meeting me, for example? How did you get to there? 'Cause I don't really know that either.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this same holiday camp, they offered me a permanent job as assistant, so I would actually work sessions as well, so a bit like what we do. And this is all at Highland School as well, so I was there from the age of 17. And I was always assistant coach for these Saturday, Friday sessions. And this was for a good 3 or 4 years.
Never knew that.
And then
you've been
there for time. It's so long. And it's good though, I loved it because I saw so many coaches that you can learn from, and that's probably the best way to learn is by working with different coaches. So I was looking at these coaches, building my experience, and then it came to a time where the company came to an end. I was at university and I got a call, and I was saying, "Oh, sorry, there's no work for Saturday." I was like, "Okay, maybe next weekend I'll be able to go." And he was like, "Sorry, we're closing for good." So when he said he was closing for good, I was like, "Oh my gosh. Is this the end of my coaching?" Then I got a call from, you will know this person, Anthony. Gee! And Anthony said, oh, he's going to take over this coaching club. And he managed to build it. He got a few kids on with the help of Aaron De Silva. Shout out Aaron, very good guy.
I think I met him like a few times in when I was at secondary school. That's mad. He's a bit older than me, if you can tell. He looks like a baby though. I look about 40 years old. He's got that lovely black don't crack skin. But yeah, go on, keep going.
He was a brilliant coach. But he helped Anthony a lot, and he's the one that brought me through. And from then on, I was helping Anthony, so I'll be like a number two. He'll come to me, give me leaflets. I'll be doing the leaflets for him, and so on.
Yeah, I think I remember doing it. Did we go to town?
Yeah.
He said to go to town and give them out. I remember that. Mad.
So going to schools, handing them out. And then I think I was the only coach for a while. And then you came along. And that's
smashed it.
That was the big thing there, is that we had 3 of us doing it. But as you know, after a while, he kind of left us to it.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Just a tiny bit.
There wasn't much direction, especially of what we wanted to provide for our coaching clubs. And we started to see a downturn of the attendance of children.
I still don't think, right, that was down to us.
No.
I think, right, if you start something, the people that come and get drawn to it are based on the person who originally are there.
Yeah.
And I think, like, Anthony was the main guy there, and he knew people and whatever. So I think when he started coming less and less, people started going, oh, it's not so much him doing it, it's just these 2 guys who he's got in doing it.
Yeah.
So I don't think that was us. I think we were still early on, but I don't think that downfall was directly us.
I don't think so either. And as you know, you have to be at the top to empower your own vision.
Yeah.
and that's the stage we had to get to, and that's the
If it's
stage.
your session, it's your baby. I call it. I don't know if he does, but it's our baby, and that's where the empowerment and the vigor and the passion has come from.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, it's, from then, so literally from the age of 17
Grind.
all the way up to now is how I got it. So you can tell the passion I've had about.
oh, let's do this right. Comment in the bit below how old you think he is, because he is saying all this mad stuff. Comment in the bit below how old you think this geezer is, and we will let you know, and I'll answer each comment saying how old he actually is.
Be nice.
Brilliant. But yeah, so that's kind of where we got up to with that, which I think is kind of brings you up to where he is as a coach and how long we've been. Some coaches do it for years, man, and they don't get to do it as a full-time job. They have to keep it on the side because once again bills take over. So get into the many years you've been coaching. Have you any like moments of like, I want to say euphoria, but it's a bit strong. Have you got any moments where you're like, oh, I loved coaching. This is like my absolute. This is what I coach for. And then we'll do the flip side of it, but let's do the positive first.
Yeah.
Like, have you had any moments, like any children, any, I don't know, like little drills you've done where you've gone, this has nailed it?
Yeah, there's actually quite a few, and to be honest, it started before first goal, and this is where I really found my coaching niche, as they say. So I was coaching a class, and I thought, let me try this. Let me try and adopt a style that like maybe a professional club might play, and that'll be passing, quick moving. And from then on, I wouldn't give up. They'll mess it up straight away, easily. Everyone does. You have to practice first. But over time, it got better and better.
His young groups that he creates, that sends up, I ruin them. Because I start playing football, I'm like, go score a banger. But he is meticulous, and his younger groups that come up through the first goal system and the first goal coaching come up happy kids, which I think is one of the main things we try and do. They love it, they love your attitude, they love your enthusiasm, but they become such ballers. They play such good football, and it's such a. I'm so glad you touched on that as one of your philosophies. It is because it's so clear when you coach. So massive kudos for that, bro.
Yeah, that is probably one of my biggest highlights, and I think to top that off is when I noticed is a parent came up to me, and this was during the Anthony days, and said, you should take these guys to a football team and coach them. And that's the first time I heard a parent just come up to me and say that, and
That's big.
And I thought, oh wow, like my work is being
Noticed.
So that was a big thing for me. And the other one was probably one of our players. We took to a tournament with first goal, and he got picked up by Reading, which is a big thing. So
I shout to him. We won't do names, but massive shout out. Massive shout to him.
And as Dev says as well, when you're coaching, you want to see other people do well. That's pretty much why we get into it.
You get that 10% agent fee.
Yeah.
Do you remember when I told you when you were 6 years old? Now you're earning going to the Premier League. Yeah, give me a shout. That's joke. But yeah, I like that though. But I think that kid is so good. Like he comes with us as well now in the academy, and he is so good. And you can tell he plays with such a happiness. And when you get stuff like that, it is really nice and it's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
So let's go on the flip side. Have you any so not negative stories? 'Cause I don't really like negativity. Have you any like harsh lessons?
Yeah.
Because like, so for example, I'll go for a harsh lesson where I was with a girls team at Highlands when I was there doing a placement year from uni, and I took a girls year 7 team, and I set out this 4-stage like circuit training basically, and the girls would be on 3 of the circuits. I'd stand in the spare circuit so I could see them all. I made out all these circuits. I thought it was amazing. I was like, let's go. It was my first time coaching, sorry, like that age group, especially a group of girls footballers. They came over and they ruined it. They absolutely ruined it because it was too dense and it was too much talking and explaining. So when it came down to them doing it, they just didn't care. So, and that was like a really harsh lesson for me, but keep it simple, do the cardio first, get yourself ready, get your body warm, get the minds ready, and then you can go into it. Don't just sit down in a really complicated bit and then go from there. So that's like, I would say, so it was not really like, I cried and went home and died. It was a bit more of a learning lesson from it. So are there any like harsh lessons that you've done and come back from, bounce back from?
I think I've had a big one, and this is generally from the start. So as I was at that coaching club at the start of my career, as an assistant, sometimes you'll be called upon to coach. Now, we've both seen this when you get an assistant to coach for the first time. Now, me, I did not know that I was going to coach that day. The coach was sick, he had to go, and randomly I've been called to this session, and it was a mixture. It was around 4-year-olds to 7-year-olds. So quite a big mix of abilities as well.
Definitely.
So during that session, I thought, okay, I can manage this. It's fine. I'll just do a little small drill of running. But as soon as I got there, the kids straight away know that you're not the coach, and they smell it.
You feel them. They see it. They can see fear, sense it, smell it. Otherwise, they're mostly blind to everything else.
And they attack big time. So as I had them lined up, I thought this is going well. They lined up. One kid had just run off.
Blake, stop! Blake, stop! Stop, Blake!
Bang!
Just
Roadrunner at the door.
Gone. And I'm in a position now. What do? I have a group of kids here and one just gone. I'm by myself. Really, as we say, coaching with 2 coaches
We always say this.
The best thing ever
100%.
for situations like this as well.
For life.
But with this situation, I had a choice to make. There's no one around. He's gone. I know if I chase him, they're going to be messing about as well. I was like,
I bet every coach watching this has gone, I've had that situation. That is like a coaching baptism of fire. Everyone has to go through that moment to know what it's like.
I was panicking. I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So I just thought, okay, let me just shout at him. He doesn't care. So I'm just stuck. I just continue coaching them and let him run around. So it got to the point where the head coach finally came out and he was observing for a while and he saw I was under so much pressure.
Drowning.
He got me out. He was like, you know what, Dan, you're not ready. I know he was like saying, you're not ready. Brought someone else in, like got 2 groups merged together and then helped me assist another group. And that's when I thought, wow.
It's not just PE. Like, people think of PE lessons sometimes where you sit down with a group of 30 kids and go, we're going to throw a beanbag at each other, we're going to kick a ball. It's more, man. It's so much more. Yeah. It's never just A to B, B to C. There's hiccups like that. Yeah. And I think that's a very good, honest story about that, because a lot of coaches get scared to tell these stories about they get something wrong or they get embarrassed or they get pulled out of a situation because they just haven't done the job. But as long as you learn from it and you bounce back, you're kind of there. As long as you take each hurdle as a lesson instead of as a knockback and you get over it, I think that's a good shout. So one, sick. Yeah. So really good idea with that one. So my next one was, so you watched the podcast and we've been talking about the kid who cleaned his hands with a lovely bit of spit. Love that, because that's one of my coaching stories. Have you yourself got any, maybe not so gruesome and kind of story, but have you got any funny stories with a few people or a kid that's done something and just surprised you at that moment? You're on, what? Where's that? Out left field, and you're like, okay.
Okay, there was probably one. It's hilarious. Okay. I was actually thinking about saying this before, but I thought maybe it's not good for the camera.
Yeah, good ones. Go on.
I'm going to say it anyway. So I was coaching in Old Street in a school for the same company I started with. And there was one child, it was funny. He was a funny child. He would do whatever he wants in the session. But he came up to me one session and he said, he looked at me straight in the face and he goes, I really like you. I was like, okay. I was like, that's a good start. The child is five years old. And I was like, oh, why is that? You remind me of chocolate.
That is such a kid mentality, bro. That's unbelievable.
Every time he sees me, he was like, chocolate.
Chocolate.
the funniest kid, one of the funniest kids I've ever met, and that story stuck with me throughout my whole coaching career.
Jesus Christ.
It was hilarious. I didn't know what to do. Obviously, he meant nothing. Like he thought,
5-year-olds don't do none of that stuff. None of they don't know it's like a bit inappropriate. That's what makes it even funnier, bro. That's jokes.
His heart was in the right place.
Yeah. At least you're loved, man. At least you're loved. That's sick. That's jokes. See, stuff like that is why we get special guests on, because that is amazing. That is a small glimpse of people who don't coach or work with kids, what kids can come out of at times. And I think for that reason, it is one of my favourite things when a kid does that.
Yeah.
And I love that kind of shit. So cheers for that story. That's getting a few laughs at that, I'll tell you right now. So what I want to start doing with special guests is doing a quick fire questions. So I'll ask you a few random questions, and you have to say the first thing that comes into your brain. Ooh. So for example, like this easy one, what's your name?
Daniel.
Exactly. And sometimes they slip up, sometimes they might just think, panic, and say something completely wrong. So we'll start off easy. I'm going to spitfire these, I don't know how many I'm going to do, we're going to see where we go and see where we end up. So, are we ready?
Ready.
Okay, here we go. Favourite colour?
Green.
Favourite football team?
Tottenham.
Ooh. Worst football team?
Arsenal.
Woo! Best team in the Premier League?
Man City.
Woo, okay. Best player at Man City?
De Bruyne.
What colour is the sky?
Blue.
What colour is the grass?
Green.
Phew, that was close.
Are you a good footballer?
Yes.
Which foot do you use?
Right foot.
If you could play for any team in the world, which team would you play for?
Barcelona.
Champions League or league title?
Ooh, Champions League.
Ooh,
Ooh, that's a good
okay.
one.
Ballon d'Or or Golden Boot at a World Cup?
Ballon d'Or.
Really, at a World Cup?
Yeah, no, I think I'll go for it.
Okay, fan. World Cup second place medal
Ooh.
or Europa League final 50-50 might win?
Oh, Europa League final 50-50
might win.
Yeah.
Jeez, World Cup final in second. Okay, cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Pizza or chocolate?
Pizza.
I just remember the kid one. Dev or Dan?
Dan.
That last one. Okay, we'll do that as the final bit of the question. But that's what we're going to try and do with people, is just try and get them on their toes, think about their coaching experiences, and going from there. So I think we will wrap it up there, because I think you've been a fantastic guest for your first time kind of doing this, and you're a bit like, I was going to go right. I think you've been absolutely natural. You've smashed the question. You've come up with some fantastic stories. So a little round of applause for our guest actor. So, do you want to do a little plug about First Goal Football? So,
Yeah.
any of the Instagram, any of the social media stuff?
Yep, so you can find First Goal Football on Instagram at First Goal Football, on Twitter as well, First Goal Footy, and also you can go on www.firstgoalfootball.com, and we also may have a new one, firstgoal.co.uk, coming out in September. So
that's a good point, because I'm surprised. I didn't know about that when I'm fully aware. We are getting into more stuff than just football. Do you want to plug that a little bit?
Yeah, so First Goal have expanded. We are also doing the fitness side, which we started early 2019, but now we're moving on into schools. So we'll be doing First Goal After School, where we provide football and activities after school clubs for schools in your area. And we are also doing First Goal Nutrition, which is absolutely brilliant, because I think this is needed in schools so much, is to learn about nutrition early in school, at primary schools as well, for your child, because it's so important, and the benefits for this are amazing. So I'm so happy with the First Goal Nutrition team, and that's our new project from September.
Jeez! So this has been Dan Phillips. I've been Dev as always. We have no Nick and no drinks, just Diet Coke and water. It's basically middle of the afternoon. We didn't want to get too early into it. Once again, if you like Dan, let us know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff you know to do. If you want to give us an email, BSCpodcasts@gmail.com. We also have an Instagram we've just made up, so this will probably be tagged on there as one of our first posts, if not our second posts. We have Twitter at BSCpodcasts again, and then of course, what you're watching on right now is probably YouTube. It's Blood, Sweat and Coaching. So Dan, my friend, you've been fantastic.
Perfect, thank you very much for having me.
Might see you in about a year when we come back and maybe do a whole rerun and see if there's any more stories and see how we go on First Goal Football, yeah?
That'd be brilliant.
Sweet. Peace out, A-Town. Much love, guys. And we out of here. Woohoo!
Peace up, A-Town down.
Yeah, yeah.